Give me a minute, guys, for anyone that's watching. I'm trying to set this all up. It's it's a lot more difficult than I expected. Trying to get this with an encoder going and everything. It's kind of a pain in the butt here to get this all. I don't know why it's not showing over here. Working on it. This is just a trial run. Alright, I think I got it now. There's a delay on this that's throwing me for a loop. Alright, I think I got it now. There's a delay on this that's throwing me for a loop. Alright, I think I got it now. There's a delay on this that's throwing me for a loop. Alright, I think I got it now. God. What is going on here with this thing? I do have my wiring harness in a video. It comes with the MS3 Gold box, and I had it modified. I did a lot of modifying to it, and I had a firewall connector put onto it as well, which make life a lot easier. Just let me know if you guys can hear me, see me, everything that's going on here. I'm not 100% sure. I got like 3 screens open right now, and I'm not sure what the hell is going on. So, like I said, this is just a trial, trying to figure this all out to get it to work right. And I don't know. I obviously have a lot more tweaking to do to this thing. A lot more figuring out. I'm glad I got this far with it. Alright, well, at least everybody can see and hear me. I got 2 screens open. One's YouTube and one's a broadcasting one. And I'm trying to go back and forth, seeing what you guys write. I guess I don't need to watch myself though, so that works out. That works out well. What's a good way to get a hold of me? You could either hit me up on my Instagram at RaceStatus, or you can send an email to me, racestatusind@yahoo.com. That is the 2 best ways. Probably Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me. If you want to talk and ask questions and all the other things that you want. Trying to get out of this LED lighting. It is not working well for this video here. No problem, Ryan. Hit me up. You know, I might not see it for a day or 2 when you send it, because for whatever reason it doesn't give me notifications for a new message, but I try to check it daily, because I do get a lot of people sending me messages. Why do you know? Randall, I am on Facebook, actually. I changed accounts. The other account got, something happened, and I got like a 30-day Facebook ban, and I just started another Facebook page I'm on now. So I'm happy to see that this is working well, and I actually managed to figure this out. Granted, I don't like the setup, but at least you guys can see and hear me, and I could see what you guys are saying. So I've been, what's up with the Race Status t-shirts? Someone did contact me about design work, and he's gonna draw up a couple designs, and we're gonna go from there. It's honestly, it's something I did probably last year, and I think I only sold about 10 of them. So, or the year before, and I think I only sold about 10 of them, and it's not a cheap thing to do. It's far from cheap. So I pretty much just have stuff made for me. That's what I've been doing, like this hat. But I do plan on getting more into apparel and stuff like that. I'll keep you guys in the loop on that. I don't want to just make a corny t-shirt like a lot of people do. And, it's not cheap. So I'll keep you up on that. We'll see what comes out with designs. There's a lot of ideas in my head. I can't draw. I'm not artistic. So I need help from other people. That's pretty much what the shirt I did make, Eric. And like I said, I only sold about 10 of them. So we'll see. Someone's helping me with a new race status design, and we'll go from there. I need a cool logo. I want a cool logo. Everybody's asked when's the car gonna be done? I wish I knew, guys. I really do. I'm a one-man guy over here, and I have a lot of stuff going on in life, and I haven't even touched it in 2 weeks right now. I mean, you can see the hot side right there, sitting up on the bench. Not welded yet. Where else? Turn this around. You can see my whole front end, the turbo, intercooler piping, everything. And honestly, I'm just so busy that I haven't had really all that time to finish it. I mean, you see, I got all the brake lines bent up and made right here. And I have all the fittings, and I just have to flare them and put them all in the car. And I lost a lot of motivation when I went to go put my calipers on, and they didn't fit because of the 15-inch wheels, and I'm trying to run 99 brake calipers, and it just don't fit. I'm actually trying to sell the front wheels so I could get a set of 17s to fit behind the calipers. The only way I can get these to fit is by running a 1-inch spacer. It's not something I really want to do. So, it's once I figure out this TIG, and I could weld my own stuff together, which, I have no problem paying John to weld this stuff together for me, but if I have the tools and all I need is practice to get the capability to weld it, I'd rather wait and do it myself. I mean, it kind of stands behind the whole garage built mantra of building it in my own garage. So I've been practicing. I haven't had much time on that, actually. I've only probably got about 2 or 3 hours under the hood with that TIG, and I'm getting there slowly, but flat plate is a much easier thing to do than tube, and I learned that the other day hold on. Let's see what I got here. So I've just been welding a lot of flat plate. I got a bunch of it. Now I've been practicing on tube here. You know, I'm starting to get it there, but it is not something easy. And I just got to get my hands to work with the filler and the thing and come around the tube. And that's what I'm having the most problem with. You know, I can get, I probably just have to do like 10 dabs at a time, 10 dabs at a time, 10 dabs at a time. But I'm having a hard time mating tube together. I keep blowing holes in it. It's all practice. So we're working on that. I just got, I was having a real problem with my stainless, and everybody recommended to get, got the FUPA 12 cups. So I just got those on the mail, but I forgot to get the adapter to go to my torch. So once the turbo kit is welded, once the hot side's welded and the cold side's welded, it can go on the car, and then the turbo kit's 100% done. I have everything. I can, once that happens, I can put it outside, I can run it, I could bleed the coolant in it, and it can sit there and run. That's literally the only thing holding me back is welding this stuff together. I have wastegates, I have blow-off valves, I have all the vacuum lines. I need to get a couple of fittings for the bottom of the wastegates because I don't want to put plastic on it. But yeah, I mean, everything's bolted back onto the car. The radiator is in the car, all fittings tight. The intercooler mounts all done, bolted to the car, so I don't have to do that. And then, like, drive shafts in the car, rear ends in the car, it's pretty much, obviously it needs to get aligned and corner balanced and everything, but it's probably at the point where I could drive it. And once I get the brakes done, I mean, it's a lot of odds and ends stuff. It's funny because I'm looking at my list and I probably only need like $300, $400 worth of material, worth of products, and it's just all labor and stupid little things to get together. Like, I gotta still build a trunk floor, which I need a piece of a flat aluminum for, which I'm waiting to come in, and then I can put the fuel return back on, you know? So that's literally held up because I don't have a piece of aluminum for the floor to come through. It is what it is. You know, I'm a little over 2 years owning this car. I've never liked rushing things. Rushing things just lead to problems. So, thank you, Brandon. I try to put out semi-decent videos when I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm trying to work on getting a whole new computer and software set up right now so I can make better videos for you guys. Is the audio okay coming through this? I'm literally just using a MacBook. So I don't know what the other end of it sounds like. Okay, thank you, Dylan. I'm glad that's coming through. That's, as much as I like my MacBook or Mac, I'm setting up a PC, going back to a PC. They're just easier to use than these Macs, and I'm slowly becoming further away from the Mac. Am I sponsored by anyone? God, I wish. No. I have a lot of friends in the industry. I was a big Honda guy for a long time, and I made a lot of good friends who want to see me do good and help me. And one of those is Jason at FCS Race. And he actually makes my catch can that I designed for the Fox body, and we've sold, I don't know, 30 or 40 of them. He made my fuel cell for me. So, am I sponsored? No. Vibrant sent me some goodies. I got T-shirts and banners and thank you notes, but except for a couple of small things on this car, every single one of those dollars came out of my pocket. Plus, sponsored, there's a lot of requirements for sponsorship. So maybe one day. I wouldn't mind a couple one day, but like I said, I like to do my own thing, and I don't like to be tied down by anything, and sponsorships will get that done. Bo, I'm guessing your name is? I did shorten the rear end 2 inches on each side from stock. It was cut down 2 inches. I think the total overall length with the 9-inch ends from Strange is 50 inches. I think that's the total length right now. I have it written down, but I'm pretty sure it's 50 inches. It's right at 50 inches. Yeah, I'm going to go with 50 inches. I did cut 2 inches aside. I did move my lower control arm brackets in an 1.5 inches or 2 inches as well. That makes it more of a parallel 4-link and fit your wheels better. So that's why I went with that. I mean, my wheels tuck in the fender wells. See, I spent thousands of dollars literally so I could tuck a tire in my fender well instead of having it stick outside the quarter panel. There was no reasoning behind that other than that, just to tuck a tire. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Anthony. I try. The attention to detail gets a little extreme sometimes, and there's a lot of things I held back on this car that I did on my last car, and there's a reason why my last car took 5 years, because it's every single bolt that went into that car was thought out, and I didn't want to do that with this car. So it's to an extent, but not as bad. Good luck, Bo. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of stuff to get in there, but it's not bad. I think the hardest part of the rear suspension, honestly, was the mini tubs. Mini tubs sucked. I don't want to ever do that job again. It's a lot. I mean, I'm sure the second time now it's going to be a lot easier if I ever do it again, but that job sucked. That was a lot of cutting and grinding and welding and everything. And I'm not a great welder. So, excuse me. Welding that thin 22 gauge was a prick. So, come here. Sorry, my dog's crying. I don't know why. Come here. Sometimes she likes to hang out in the garage, but mainly she just wants to go out. This camera really does not like my lighting in the garage, though. That is for sure. What made me go with UPR? Well, the first thing I do when I need to buy anything is a ton of research. And the cool thing about Mustangs is there's 500 companies out there that make the same exact part. So it's really cool to sit back and see who makes what and who does it for what. And my buddy bought all Team Z for his car. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with Team Z. They're high quality parts. I did not like the lower control arms from Team Z. Both the double adjustables were on one end. The adjustment was on one end, and I just didn't like the lower control arm. And it's, the same part I think I got the UPR double adjustable lowers. They have like a pro version, and then they have like an extreme duty version. And I think in the extreme duty ones, I think I have a video up of unboxing them. Their extreme duty stuff is badass. It is heavy duty stuff, and it's like $40 or $50 cheaper. $40. It's cheaper by a significant amount, and it comes with a nice. Team Z comes with a nice coating on it, but I don't like their gold stuff that they put on stuff. I do have some TMZ stuff in my car, like my anti-roll bar is TMZ because I didn't like the UPR one. You know, the UPR control arms are definitely bad stuff. They are heavy duty. So it main heavy duty, and it was a price point. You know, I probably saved over $150, $100 something by getting UPR versus TMZ. And I buy a lot of stuff from Doug at Motion Raceworks, and he's a UPR dealer as well. So, and there's a lot of fast cars on UPR. I mean, there's a lot of fast cars on TMZ. There's a lot of fast cars on whoever else, but I mean, there's 4 second and 3 second cars on UPR stuff. So, being a guy who probably go no faster than low fives, hopefully it does the trick. Chevy 4810. I am glad my videos could have helped you out on your project, buddy. That's the whole reason I am here. I did this for you guys because when I went to go research stuff on how to do it, there is not much info out there. For whatever the reason is, people in the domestic world are very tight-lipped, so I don't like that. You know, we're all doing the same stuff. We're all car guys. So, what's up, Ray? How you doing? That, that is true. Everything is top secret, and it's really weird. I get it, like if you're a grudge guy or something or this or that, but if you're class racing, you all got to follow the same rules anyway. You know, yeah, there's the fast guys will always find a way to be fast. So I'm not. I was all about class racing until about a year and a half ago when I started looking at rules in which class I could fit in, and I pretty much threw all that paperwork out the window and said screw it. I'm building a car because it's cheap. I'm sorry. I'm building a car for fun. I want to do lots of burnouts. I want to roll 80 miles an hour and just blow the rear tires off of it. Why an LS besides it? Because it's cheaper. Um, Honestly, I don't really care what motor's in my car. My buddy started building an LS swap car about the time I decided that I was going to part out my last car and move on. Um, and at that time, Coyote engines were still $6,000 for an F-150 motor, and you could pick up a 6.0 LS for $900. Yeah, it's a junkyard motor. Yeah, it might have 190,000 miles on it, but you know what? Let's be real here. Most of the Coyotes that you're paying $5,000 for are coming out of the junkyard too. So I did that. The Coyote's big. It's a big motor. You got to have a bunch of control stuff, control packs to run this thing. It's a big hassle to run that motor. I wasn't going to do a small block Ford because you got to dump a ton of money into them. I have nothing against the motors. I want to build a Coyote car one day. Probably be a new Edge. I really want a new Edge. I'd put a Coyote in it. It doesn't bother me. The motors really don't bother me. I honestly have a K-Series Honda engine. I've thought about buying a 4-cylinder Mustang and putting it in. But, the LS is small. It's cheap. It's reliable. Yeah, you see all these guys blowing them up because it's any Joe Schmo behind a keyboard trying to tune it. So, I mean, you got guys like John Capizzi going freaking sevens on stock motors. He's a tuning genius. If I ever have the money, I'd fly him out here to have him tune my car. But no, it's just the in thing right now. It's cheap, it's fast, it's reliable, and for the goals I have for the car, um, that's a rod and piston motor in my car. Stock block, rod and pistons, stock ported heads. It's got valve springs. I don't even have titanium retainers. I put steel retainers in the motor. It's got a Brian Tooley Stage 2 cam, turbo cam. That's all that motor has. And I bought that motor with the car. He sold the motor to me separate. and I'm into that thing pennies, and it'll make every bit of 1,000 and handle it and love it. So price is definitely a big thing for an LS swap, but also the simplicity is another big thing. Everybody knows push rod motors. I got one easy timing chain to do, one cam to worry about. So I think it's more the simplicity and easy. At the end of the day, it's all about having fun with the car. I don't want to be fucking. Once the car's done, I don't want to be working on it every day because something's wrong in a Ford motor. But like I said, it is what it is. It pisses off a lot of people, so I think that's the other reason why I want to keep it. I got into a lot of Facebook wars with people with 13-second cars arguing with me about my LS being slow. So I don't know. It is what it is. What transmission am I running in the car? I have a JW Performance TH400, 1,000 horsepower capable, and it is a 3-speed reverse manual valve body with a trans brake. The guys down at JW Performance, probably some of the nicest guys I've ever talked to. I talked to them for probably about 2 hours before I even bought the transmission. And Jesse, what is his name down there? James, I don't know. It's been like a year and a half since I talked to them. Jesse, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was so helpful, and I haven't even given them a dime yet. I got it with their Ultra Bell as well. I got a small block Chevy Ultra Bell because I wasn't paying the extra $150 for an LS Ultra Bell. I just didn't see the price point being there for whatever reason. And they were great. I can't wait. That tranny, there is one leak on the servo cover. It's the only complaint I have about it is the seal is leaking. But I have a new servo cover to put on because I'm going to put a dump valve on it because apparently TH400s, for anybody building these cars, TH400s have too much, don't quote me, converter charge pressure, and they're wiping out thrust bearings. So I'm putting a dump valve in now before I even finish the car because I don't want to wipe out my motor. They build up too much pressure on the trans brake and stuff like that. So that is that. But that was JW Performance I got it from, and it was a good deal. The train is a good price. I can't say how it works. I've had the car run for 10 minutes, but we'll put that thing to its test, I promise. Yeah, Ray, I'm with you, man. I can't wait to freaking get this thing rolling. That billet 80 is going to make some serious steam. I just hope that I've done everything correctly and I can light it up sooner than later, and it's not going to be $5,000 before the boost comes in. I just blow the tires off of it. I'm hoping I want to drive it before this winter. That's my goal right now. So, 1/8 mile or 1/4 mile. I will do whatever needs to be done. My car is more geared. It's literally geared for the 1/4 mile. There's not too. I'm in Connecticut, so there's not too many 1/8 mile tracks in the area. Every 1/4 mile, every track is pretty much 1/4 mile. I mean, sometimes ACO and stuff like that, they'll shut down to 1/8 mile racing. But no, I prefer to run the 1/4 mile. The car's geared for it. I got highway gears in my car. It's a turbo car, so it's got what did I put in there? 327s. So, plus it's a 3-speed 400 car, and you start changing the rear gears, they become wheelie monsters, and it's not something I really look forward to doing. I'm not like everybody else. I don't want to do wheelies. I don't want to trash my car. I don't care about the picture. Yeah, it looks cool, but you know what? Wheelies don't win races. So, the only thing I wish I did was I kind of wish I stayed loosely to World Cup Finals rules. That's one race I've always wanted to race at my whole life. Like 15 years. But that class is just, they are not Mustang. Sorry guys, I'm moving stuff around over here. Their rules are not the best for Mustangs. So it's either run more of a true street-ish, but I got to put like a tiny turbo on the car, and the car's got to weigh like 3,500 pounds, and car doesn't even weigh 3,200 with my big ass in it. So adding another 400 pounds is not something I want to do. What is the end goal? Definitely not grudge racing. I don't like the grudge racing scene. Something gets in those people's heads when they get behind two cars at a starting line, and I just don't like the arrogance and the shit talking, and they turn something that's so much fun and been doing for hundreds of years, and they turn it into just straight violence. So definitely not grudge racing. I don't like it at all. Class car, I just went over with. I shied away from class racing because I don't like all the rules that they have. I follow the Ultimate 275 class page on Facebook, and I feel like every 3-4 weeks, John Sears is putting another page of rules out there. And when you get to something like that, you got to do it because so many people are bending the rules, and so I don't like rules. It's going to be mainly a street car. It'll probably be 80% street driven. I have no problem with a street race here or there, but Connecticut's street racing scene is whack. It hasn't been good in a lot of years, and I won't bring my car into New York. Any of my New York people, I'm sorry to say, there's too many goddamn thieves in that area, so I won't be racing my car on a street in New York. I did that whole street racing thing in the Hunts Point days, and just people follow people home and steal their cars right out of their garage. I'm not about that. I love Maryland, man. It's such a great state. I'll be down there for World Cup in November, and I know what you're saying. I've seen videos and stuff, and it's something I wouldn't mind doing. Oh, God, I got a pipe rolling away. It's not something I would say no against, but we'll see what the time comes. See what the next year brings for me. I'm gonna be a little bit busy next year, so we will see what comes down to that. But like I said, I'll be like 80% street driven, 20% ish track. Obviously the car is built for 850. That's it's got a 10-point in it, a shoot for 150, window net, yada yada yada. But the car will go 850s with ease, as long as I can drive it. We'll see if I can drive it to 850s. I mean, it's automatic, so it shouldn't be too hard. It's just be a tuning issue at that point. And I said to myself, I won't put a bigger cage in the car because I don't want to drive on the street with a 25X cage. The stuff is dangerous, and the cage will kill you on the street. Many people have died from smashing their heads on the cage, so I don't want to go any bigger. I don't need to go any faster. If I want to go any faster, I'll buy another chassis. What's up, guys? Yeah, I got heat in that car. I got a radio in that car. I put speakers. I've honestly thought about putting a couple subs in the back. I kind of regret not doing air conditioning. That is something that might change in the future, but that'll be after the car's running and driving. So we'll see. A 2004 Dylan. Got a 2004 Mustang Mini Tub turbocharged 6-liter. TH400 or 4L80E. Honestly, people ask me that question all the time, and I ask you two questions. What's your main use of the car, and how much money you got? A 4L80 is not cheap to build. There's a couple people who have put the HD shift kit in it and have gotten it to last, but to what abuse end on it. A built 4L80E is a bad transmission, but they are expensive. 3-speed 400. I think I got like $2,200 into my tranny, and it's probably overkill compared to a lot of people. But a TH400 would be good on the street if you gear it correctly. Oh, big block Chevy. I will have to jump on your channel. Like I said, I like anything. I don't have any paper here. I'm just writing on my welding table. Is it a natural big block Chevy, or you have nitrous on it, or blower or something? Nice. There's nothing like the sound of a big block at idle. You know, those things are wicked mean. I'd love to do a big block, but they're big money. Yeah, it's street friendly if you're driving around. You get up on the highway, you know, and if you don't have the right gears in that thing, and that thing's going to be screaming in top gear. I mean, they're all 1-to-1 in the top gear, but mid fives in the eighth. That's pretty impressive. You got a natural big block going fives in the eighth. That's pretty good. Crap, my buddy's going mid fives in the eighths with his turbo LS. I put up a video a couple weeks ago. We went 9.0, like 130-degree track temp. That was ridiculous hot that day. He went to ACO last Friday and went 870s, I believe. Chopping it down slowly and surely, working up on the tune-up. Another stock bottom end deal. Nitrous WS6. I like a WS6, man. I would not be opposed to owning one of those. I do like those cars. Those cars are pretty cool. My home track living in CT, my favorite track, well, I mean, so every track is about 2 hours away or an hour and a half away. It was Englishtown. Did a lot of racing there, spent a lot of time at that track. I'm going to miss that track. I missed that track already. I'm upset that the owners are that greedy and that selfish that they shut that track down. Well, we do a lot of racing at Island Dragway. Don't remember the town. ACO here and there, that's kind of a haul. It's like 3 hours, and that's if I don't get stuck in traffic, then it's a 6-7 hour ride. Some at Lebanon Valley. I do want to check out New England Dragway. I heard that's a pretty cool facility. I want to check out one day. But mostly it's Island Dragway now, and Island's stepping up their efforts to be a better track with, you know, cleaning and prepping and everything. Oh, Cecil, man, I'm jealous. I wish I had a track 40 minutes away, period, let alone be Cecil. I would love to live near freaking MIR. Merlin, 3 block, Brodex, section has around $22,000 to build the engine. God bless you. And that's why I have a stock block LS. Yeah, that's about us. On a good day, it takes about an hour 45 to get to Island on a good day. So I feel your pain. There is a lot of history at New England. It's a really cool track. I actually have a place up in New Hampshire that I'll be at next weekend, over by Keene. So if I ever do anything up there, I'd rather just drive up into New Hampshire and then cut over the next day. Route 6, 5 minutes from Route 66. Oh, yeah, you are lucky. You don't have to guess it. You know you're lucky. 5 minutes, shit, 5 minutes from the track. I don't think I'd ever buy a trailer. I don't care if that thing was on methanol. I'd still drive it to the track. Yeah, unless you make a $500,000 a year, it is going to take a couple of years to build a $22,000 engine. Oh, that thing probably moves out though. Mid fives, that thing probably sounds wicked. I'm definitely going to sign up to your channel. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got no complaints with a small block Ford. They just don't make big power unless you start throwing big money at them. I mean, I spent half my life in my buddy's Mustang GT that just had a 302 in it, and we had it's probably the most fun we've ever had in a car. But he went through like 7 engines in that car. You know, putting that thing on the limiter, doing burnouts and everything. But you know, if you want to go mid fives, there's nothing better than a stock bottom end LS Turbo 400 and you know, VS Racing turbos are coming a long way now. I hear a lot of good things about those. Uh, yeah, Test and Tune's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, I forgot about Maple Grove. Um, that's not a bad track either, especially 40 minutes away. That's not bad. I was gonna go out to Maple Grove for the Street Outlaws thing, but um, I've actually grown a real disdain for that show over the past couple of weeks. What ECU? I have a Megasquirt Gold Box. Um, it is not the most ideal ECU out there if you're trying to do something. If you're throwing together a street car, makes 500 horse, it's a great ECU. My knowledge wasn't as much as it was when I bought that, so I don't want to say I'm stuck with it, but I'm not changing it until the car's running and driving, and I will upgrade that later. But for a $1,200 setup, it does the job. I mean, people go sevens on it, so it's not like it's not capable, but having 5 inputs and 3 or 4 7 outputs or whatever, I can't even think of the numbers right now. It's just not suitable for me. Colin had a Fox with a 306, GT40P heads, a cam, long tubes, intake, Holly 600. It made less than a stock 5.3 in a Colorado. And that's my biggest argument about running an LS. You take a 5.3 and you stick a cam in it, that thing's making 400 wheel. Without a problem, you know. How do you beat that? I want to stick a cam in my Denali. I daily drive a Sierra Denali, and they're putting cams in this thing and picking up 80 wheel horsepower. I want to do that bad. Dylan, I have a Bullseye Racing billet 80 millimeter turbo with a 96 mil back wheel on a T6 132 rear housing. What's going on, Tom from Detroit? The Big D. MSD grid system, crank trigger. That's a pretty sweet setup. Viking double adjustables. That's what I got. They're a good coilover for the money. You really can't beat them. Can't beat Viking double adjustables. I'm a big fan of them. I probably won't buy their fronts though. Their fronts are freaking expensive. And that kind of money, you know, I'd probably go Menser or something like that. Yeah, I was gonna say it was probably around the 300 mark with that 306. Oh, what's going on, Wayne? Yeah, like I said, I got no hate for a 30, a small block 4, 302, 306. I originally wanted to build one for a lot of years. I've wanted a Mustang for years and years. Yes, you're right. AFCO does make a real good shock as well. There's a lot of real good shocks out there. Depends how much money you want to spend. I got strange singles in my car for now in the front. But yeah, the 5.3 with a 400 horse on a stock motor with a cam. 10 years ago, you couldn't tell someone that kind of money, that kind of horsepower. They'd laugh at you. I mean, crap, we got Hondas making 1,500 horsepower now. Thank you very much, Tom. I can't wait to freaking put it on the limiter and tear some tires off of it either. Do I ever regret ditching the Type R? I loved my Type R. I had a blast with that car. I learned a lot of stuff, and I made a ton of friends with that car. I do not regret getting rid of it. I actually regret going and trying to build a sport front wheel drive car. I really wish I left that a street car with the 6262 that was on it. I made a lot of my money back with that car and enabled me to do a lot of things. I paid for part of my wedding. Bought my Mustang and all sorts of other stuff. So I regret not keeping it more of the original form with this first turbo engine than I had in it. I regret going for sport front wheel drive. I don't regret parting it out. Leave the Honda game. Honestly, it was the price of stuff. There's not that many companies that build stuff, and I I was that car needed about $5,000 more to hit the track, and I had to buy my shifter with a strain gauge. My biggest problem with that car was it had to have everything that was the best. I didn't want to put a stock shift linkage in that car and tear up a $5,000 gear set. So I'm literally sitting there and need to buy a $2,200 shifter and strain gauge. And that was the exact moment I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever told myself. Sell this goddamn car and get out of it. And I parted it out the next week. I've always wanted a Mustang. I've actually wanted a white GT hatchback my entire life. I fell in love with that car when I was probably 12, 11. I actually have pictures of, I found them a couple weeks ago, actual pictures, printed out pictures of a couple white GTs that I took when I was just a small kid. What's going on from Canada? Get snow up there yet? I can't wait to go down the track with it either. How close am I to Kentucky? Well, I'm in Connecticut. It took me 13 hours to get to Indiana, so I don't know how many hours it would be to Kentucky. But that's something I want to try to get out to. I want to try to make LS Fest next year. So we'll see if we can do that. What is your goal number-wise, buddy? Oh, time-wise? Honestly, if I could go mid to low fives, cut an 850, and drive the car, more than enough for me. That is more than enough for me. I wouldn't mind going sevens. If I go to a track rental, go sevens, but I will not upgrade my safety to go faster than 850. Preference on stroked rotating assemblies. It depends on what you're looking for. I'm not a big fan of stroker kits just because they put a lot of undue stress on motors. People make big power on 370s. If you're trying for 3,000 horsepower, yeah, that's something you got to do. But if you're looking for 1,000, 1,200 horsepower, I don't think there's a need for a stroked 408, in my opinion. Be more, yeah, that's exactly what I want. White, black interior, sunroof, the whole nine. What's going on, Texas in the house? No snow in Ontario, Canada yet. Soon enough for you guys. Texas, great state. Been there a couple of times. Love it. Oh, let me write that down. You know what, Colin? I was actually thinking about that a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking with my wife about it, and there would definitely be a lot more outside videos, a lot of videos with the car, driving the car, pretty much just hooligan type of crap. But I've decided that this is something that I want to keep doing. I learn just as much as you guys, and for one 15-minute video, I probably have 5 hours of film and probably 30 hours of research going into that, so I could give you guys a nice 15-minute cliff notes. What I have decided to do is that I will do another car. It won't be as extreme or as long, but I think it's something I'm going to leave up to you guys. I'm going to give you guys, this is what I've been thinking about. I'm going to give you guys a list of stuff. And I'm going to put it up to a vote, see what you guys want to do with it. So that's where that'll go. That's something we'll probably be working on next year. And I'm up to anything. I really don't care. Mini truck with a 2JZ in it, or a Mustang with a K-Series in it, or I almost said a Honda with a V8. I don't want to go through that much fab work. That's a lot of work. So that's where that's going. What's my favorite track? Maryland International Raceway, without a shadow of a doubt, is my favorite track. I've never raced on it. I hope to one day, but it's probably, Jason does a great job down there. All right, you get to work, man. Get to work on that car. Mid-November. That's not terrible. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, Colin. I'm trying, man. I'm really. I only picked up this camera 2 years ago, and it was a cheap $100 camera, and I downloaded some free editing software, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm trying to make the editing better, the content better, and I'd like to keep the channel growing because I've gotten so many messages from you guys how much I've helped people, and it really makes me happy that I can help people. K Series Fox, yeah, that is. I have two K Series motors sitting in the other garage right now. It's something that might happen. They do make an adapter plate to a Nissan 6-speed or 6-speed tranny that was in the 370Z, which are pretty stout transmissions. So I mean, purists are mad now with an LS. I can't even imagine how mad they'd be with a K series. You know, you do a you don't even have to do a sleeve block anymore. You do that other block guard. I can't remember the company's name. But you make 500 horsepower on a K series without batting an eye. The TIG learning's coming. I'm slowly learning how to get some tube done and work my way around it. Flat plate I don't have a problem with, apparently. That's pretty easy. It's the tube I'm having the issue with, and starting it and stopping and gaps and welding pipe together. But we'll get that going. Um, so it's all, I mean, I've already ripped through a half a bottle. we'll we'll see. I got to work more on stainless. Like I just showed you guys before, I just got my FUPA 12 cups in, Amphira cups. So I just got to get the adapter and I could go back to stainless. A 2JZ and a Fox is bad, man. That's bad. My build price at now, I don't even want to guess. I have every receipt. I haven't even come close to adding anything up in probably a year. Probably longer, probably since I did that first video. If I had to gander with every single piece of fitting and everything, I'm probably in the 40 range. I wouldn't put it past being in the mid 40s somewhere. People said LS swap is cheap. Mid 40s, but I've changed some stuff too, so that's added extra money, and I got a whole bunch of parts laying around, and like I've moved my coils 3 times. That's involved 3 coil different brackets, and I've built my own hot side and cold side, a bunch of sorry, a bunch of extra pipe, 2 turbos. I can't make up my damn mind. Nice, Colin. Good to hear. That's what I like to hear. Ryan, good. That video, that is my most watched video still by a lot. The mini tubs are a pain. Every direction sucks, and there is no info out there about mini tubs. I've had a lot of people send me messages about that video saying how much it helped them. Big MRC 71. Ever raced at Englishtown? Yes, I did. Lots of times back in the day. I've been to a ton of events. I got a ton of memories at Englishtown. Not happy. Not happy that they shut it down. I'm honestly pissed, and I think those owners could get. I don't know if there's any kids watching, so I'm sorry. They can go get screwed, in my opinion, just for them shutting down the track because they're greedy. You can spend 5,000 LS swap or spend the money and make shit nice. The part's all about what you want. Yeah, that's without a doubt. You can definitely cheap LS swap a car. I believe the price you pay is what you get in the outcome. I did watch a lot of Sloppy Mechanics videos. What Matt does is a great service for the community. His followers, though, are getting out of control. I don't believe not Harbor Freight, Tractor Supply parts should be in a suspension of a vehicle. I saw a guy make freaking fuel rails out of 1/2-inch copper for a house. There's just a lot of stuff I don't sign on with that whole movement. But what Matt does is absolutely amazing. And you could do a budget car without a doubt. I just see what budget cars go through, and no budget 9-second car is going to last long. It's going to be a lot of work. and I'd rather just finish my car and drive it and enjoy it instead of having a wrench on it every weekend because another cheap part broke. But it's all, it's all how you are in your own opinion and how you want to do it. Uh, Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate it. I actually didn't even like this color when I bought the car, but it's grown on me a lot, and now it's probably one of my favorite colors. Colin, you're right. It is Matt's info is amazing. He's inspired a lot of people, and he shows what can be done. Like I said, I think people take it to the extreme, and honestly, just straight up dangerous. I wouldn't want to be in the lane next to some of half those people that I've seen on that page. Granted, most of those people don't even hit the track, so it's not a big deal. But that is a whole nother topic for another day. Yeah, 13K. I mean, crap, 13K got me a motor and a roller. I paid a lot of money for my roller. Um, but my roller is immaculate. It's got 50,000 miles on it, and the car's pristine. I paid big money for my roller. I mean, that's a huge thing right there. You can go buy a Fox body for $500, but I got it with $2,500 worth of wheels on it and suspension, and I've changed a lot of the stuff. But nobody has reached out to me about sponsorships, and at this point in the game, I don't know if that's something I would even accept. Um, I was saying earlier, sponsorships come with a lot of responsibility, and a lot of times sponsors own you. So I'm not a huge fan for me doing sponsors. Skinny's Street Sauce actually contacted me, wanted me to be a dealer, but I started looking at their dealer prices, and it just wasn't economically smart for me. Yeah, Ryan, I'm in Connecticut, so I get that same weather you get. Um, it took me a solid 6 months to find a good car. I went and looked at a lot of Fox bodies, and honestly, I was just getting so sick and mad at people lying to me and telling me these are quality cars, and I get there and the torque boxes are gone, or the frame rails are rotted, or the floor's rotted. Thinking, I'm not going to look the car over, but I actually picked this car up out of Indiana, which was previously a Florida car. I am the third owner of this car. My buddy Dean is the second owner. He sold it because he started to get too race car-ish with it, and actually went out and bought an even cleaner black Fox body notchback. Um, and the car wasn't even for sale. His brother-in-law told me to call him and see if he'd sell it. And 3 weeks later, I loaded the trailer and drove out to Indiana, about 13 or 14 hours each way, and brought home the roller. Mustang Fox. You are very welcome, buddy. So I'm here. Yeah, Project Landslide. I've learned over the years that it is just cheaper to buy the car done than it is to buy it empty. In the long run, it's a big shell to put out $10,000 for a car up front, but you'll probably spend double that in the long run. So that's something I signed into after my last car. And now I see how cheap rollers go for, 25.5 cars that are all done going for 12, 13 grand. It's just, you couldn't build you couldn't build half the car for that cheap. That's one piece of advice I tell everybody now. Find the most complete car you can. It'll save you a lot of time, money, and angst in the long run. It's a much better thing to do in my eyes. Yeah, there you go, Ryan. I mean, if it was sitting inside for 10 years, it's fine. You find something sitting in a field for 10 years, you'd be lucky if there's anything left of it. And the price of Fox bodies are going up day by day. Mustang Fox, yes, I am. My last video, I announced that I actually bought RaceStatusGarage.com. I now own that domain name. We are, me and another guy who I don't even know. He contacted me through YouTube. He's working on some designs for me, and you guys will be the first to know. Believe me. I'd love to get stuff out to you guys, and it's not even about making money. Because when I sold my last shirts, I might have made $2 per shirt after shipping and everything. It's just, I love the support. What are you looking at with getting the car, driving on the street? I got to finish all my brake lines. They're all made up. I just got to flare them all, hook them all up. I need new front wheels. Anybody want to buy a set of Weld Magnums that are almost mint condition? You let me know. Finish the brake lines, weld the whole turbo kit together, bolt it all in the car. The car's already got a tune-up in it. I put a trunk floor and a rear firewall in. I'm waiting on a sheet of aluminum to come in. And then I can make the rear firewall, because I got the fuel cell in the back. I need a freaking gas pedal. Anybody got a stock Fox body gas pedal they want to mail me? Email me at racestatusind@yahoo.com. I need a stock gas pedal. I don't know where mine is. It's missing. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I had to get a pad of paper. This is my email. If you have a gas pedal, email me or hit me up on my Instagram, one of the two. No, he texted me, said he was waiting for money to come in, and never heard back from him. So they're still for sale. I'm getting a little behind here. I'm changing the front wheels because the brakes I have don't fit behind them. So it's either spend $800 on a set of race brakes, which I don't want. I want the aerospace street brakes. Run 1-inch spacers or upgrade to a 17-inch wheel. And the cheapest option right now is upgrade to a 17-inch wheel. 10-1, 11-1 compression pistons and a small block Ford. It depends. Is it natural? Is it a turbo car, a supercharged car? With the way tuning is today, you can get away with higher compression and be fine with it. So I'd probably lean more towards the 11-1. How fast I want the car to go? 850s. I'd be completely happy with 850s. Here's my email. Send me an email and I could send you an address. I need a gas pedal. I sat in the car. I don't know, when I got it down on the ground. And I was like, holy crap, I don't have a gas pedal. So, I don't know. I lose stuff all the time. I don't know where anything is anymore. I go through these shelves left and right. You guys can see all the shelves I got back here. And I got more storage on the other side. Definitely 11-1, without a doubt. You don't want to go too crazy high because then you got to start running different fuels. But 11-1s sounds like a good number for a natural. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting text messages. I'm going camping at my place next weekend. Thank you very much, Mustang Fox. Jason, if Mustang can't come through for whatever reason, I'll hit you up. So, Colin, I do not have a mailing address or P.O. box set up anywhere. That's not something I have thought about doing as of yet, honestly, because there's never been a need for it. When there becomes a need, I'll probably set up a P.O. box at the post office. We'll get to that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Right now, I just have stuff sent to my mother's house, so I'm not a huge fan of putting my address out on the internet. Jason, I told you, man. They do suck to assemble. And a great piece of advice for that is, from what I saw, there's only one company that sells mini tubs assembled, and that's Wild Rides in New Jersey. If I ever do it again, I'll be buying those assembled. I'll pay the extra shipping just to have them assembled so I don't have to do it. It'll be worth the money. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. What's your issue? Oh, come here. Come here. My dog's being a pain. What? What? Oh, she's a pain. Yeah, Colin, there's who knows? IND at the end, like Industries. I know my handwriting sucks. Don't make fun of me. But it's racestatusind@yahoo.com. Like Industries. I made that email years ago to send all my car receipts to when I bought stuff on the internet. And I really wish I did it with Garage, which I might change the email again. Because once I started the YouTube channel, I changed to Race Status Garage. So, Racecraft offers them. Oh, there's something. They offer everything. That's probably not cheap from Racecraft, though. Carbon versions. Oh, man, I'd love to have carbon tubs, but I'd be afraid to destroy them driving it on the street. That'd be my only problem. You know, I'd feel like a rock come out of the tire and smack them. Then I'd be mad. I love carbon fiber stuff, but the price of it's getting out of control. I'm glad this worked out today, though. This was, well, my dog lost her ball under one of my welding carts. I'm glad this worked out today. Because now I can definitely do the live feed for the 2K giveaway. I'm very surprised at how fast the channel is growing now. I think we're up to over 2,000 now, which is pretty sweet because it grew fast. Yeah, 2020. Hold on one second, guys. I gotta get this ball. Where is it? How you like that Alpha Tig? I like it. I got really nothing to compare it against. I used an Eastwood years ago. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to sell some things, make some extra cash. I used an Eastwood years ago. I got the new one, which is a 201 XD. That Alpha says it's all software improvements, which I'm happy I got it. It seems to do pretty well. You know, for someone who's held a TIG torch, I don't know, maybe 5 times in my life before I get this welder, I'm not too mad about this right here. You know, like I said, I probably have two or 3 hours behind the hood. I'm getting there. Where did I win it? There is a page on Facebook. He's slowing down right now. He picks up and slows down, so he doesn't get in trouble with PayPal or anything. I think it's called Race Parts and Waffles. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the page. Race Parts and Waffles. It's funny. I've been on that page for a year or two now. I've won twice, I think. 2 or 3 times. He does. They do some good raffles on that page. It's a good time over there. Spent a lot of money, but I won an $800 welder, so I'm not mad. And it's funny. So he did a raffle for 4 things. It was like a 417 tube front, a turbo, the welder, and something else. And it was a $20 entry. I won the welder, and since it was below the number, I got $25 sent back to me. So I actually got paid $5 to win that welder. You can't beat it. Should do a channel on your notch build? Yeah, I mean, it's always cool to see another person videoing what they do. I'll tell you right now, it's a ton of work. I get a couple of cameras, some good software, and a computer, and every one of my videos, which is around 12 to 16 minutes, is probably about 4 to 5 hours of filming, and then you probably have another 2 or 3 hours of editing. So it's a lot of work to do. Something I didn't know. Nobody told me. I just did it. So just be prepared for it. And if you want the channel to grow, you got to stay engaged. And I try to put out 1 video a week, which can get hard, especially when I run out of money and don't have parts to buy. The Harbor Freight, the new Predator ones or whatever they are, I hear they're Vulcans. I hear they're great. They're actually great welders. Stuff from Harbor Freight scares me sometimes, though. 2 small wastegates. Okay, so I had a single 60mm wastegate. I had a Tile 60. Yeah, Turbo Smart. I know what you're trying to say. I had a Tile 60. I'm not a great fabricator. It is hard to make a merge and combine the 60mm wastegate into said merge and get proper wastegate priority all at the same time. Especially when you don't have a ton of room. So it was honestly easy. I traded that wastegate off for 2, what are those, 40s? I think they're 40s. 40 or 44s. I don't know. But these freaking things are tiny. And it was just much easier to package it and fit it together. I never wanted to run 2 wastegates until I actually had to put them in the car. And then it was a no-brainer. Unless you do like a front mount with a rear radiator or something, you got all the room in the world. But Jason, you're right. Production value. I've been pricing everything out, new cameras and new lenses and new software, and it gets expensive fast, especially for something that I make pennies on. I did monetize the account, but it's pocket change. So the one thing I am working on right now is a new computer, so I can stop using my MacBook here. That would be nicer. Oh my God. Sorry guys, I gotta answer these texts. I'm selling a set of used tires. Yeah, Jason, definitely. Like I said, right now I'm building a new computer that has a lot more memory and RAM and all this other fancy stuff, so I can actually make the videos easier for me. And I'm going with different software as well. I'm not a huge fan of, what am I using? iMovie? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. Cheaper and uglier. I don't like anything from On3. That's my personal opinion. I feel like they are a horrible cheap knockoff, and they've had a ton of problems. other people swear by them. In my opinion, I would run the S480, or even I'm even more leaning towards the VS turbos now. They seem to even be better than the On threes. Um, Single turbo for life, man. Twins are cool, but I'll rock a single big turbo all day. Make the same power, a little bit cheaper with twins, but I would definitely do the S480. It's pretty much what I have. It's just oh shit, that's the other thing. This goddamn thing is heavy. That's the only that's the only downside to a single. I mean, see the size of this freaking thing. This is S480 from Bullseye. It's massive. It's like 60 pounds. And it's the only downside to running a single turbo. You got to fit 60 pounds somewhere and not throw off everything else in the engine bay. But I would make the hassle of running a single S480 over two turbos. Yeah, like I said, some people like them and have no problems with them, and I've seen other people have nothing but problems with them. It's probably one of those just cheap Chinese things where it's hit or miss. So that comes down to personal opinion. I'd put a VS in my truck, which I've thought many times about running a turbo on. Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of great things about the VS. The only thing that ever bothered me about VS racing turbos was the man's got a freaking GTR and he doesn't even run his own turbos. That kind of bothered me. Run 8s and daily drive home, S480 will put you in the 8s all day. Crap, my buddy goes 870s on a 6.2 on a box stock S475. But, he's only got 2 Kirkies in the car, no back seat. I mean, it's light, but it's not, it's not a daily driver. But S480 will put you in the 8s all day. Just cast wheel will put you in the 8s, no problem. The bill is so shiny, but it's. I was buying a new turbo. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. If you're doing an LS and a Fox body, there's a lot of turbos that'll put you into the 8s for cheap. Like I said, a $680 S475 has my buddy's car into the 8s, and at low boost, 16 pounds, somewhere around there. Yeah, Matt does love VS turbos, and I mean, there's no reason not to. I would love to get a VS 80 mil, an exact copy of my turbo, and do a side by side with them on a dyno. Change nothing and see if it's, it makes more or less power. That would be something cool. Because everybody does stuff and then tunes and changes stuff, so you never get a direct comparison. I'd love to get a exact copy and swap the turbo, see if anything changes. How hard Holley HP? It's very simple. The gold box is pretty much the same as an HP. Now the problem with the HP, you're very, very limited. You got to think about, if you don't own it and you want to buy that, you might want to think about exactly what inputs and outputs you need. If you decide to run boost control off a Holley HP, you can run out of inputs super fast or outputs super fast. And okay, I'll check my email in a second, buddy. Thank you very much. They're super. I mean, they have these standalone plug and plays that are super super easy to use now. But the HP. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to scroll up and read this comment. Like I said, you're very very limited, and that's my biggest problem with the gold box. Is that you're very very limited, and it's just you got to think about what you want to do. If you have it, use it until you run out. But I mean, like fuel pressure, oil pressure, um, tranny temp, coolant temp, and and a couple other things. But you got to start picking and choosing. I feel your pain, man. I have a gold box in the car, and I'm out of everything. My box is wired to the max right now, and I hate it. I can't even put a damn tranny temp sensor in without because I got nothing. He can bump up to a Dominator, and it would just be the computer. He could use the harness he has. John, honestly, I would just download the software and start playing with it. There's a lot of good tutorials online. Um, a lot of good tutorials online. That's where I pretty much started learning how to tune my car, you should say. Yeah, you're about $1,000 more for a Dominator. You won't regret going to a Dominator. I'm not a huge Holley person, a Holley fan, and as stupid as this sounds, it's mainly because that goddamn computer is this freaking big. It's like 45 pounds, and you need to buy a harness for everything. Everything you need to do with that computer, buy another harness, buy another harness, buy another harness. So, that kind of bothers me about it. But I mean, you can run an HP. The car will go sevens on an HP, but you're not gonna have all the things you want. So it's kind of a give or take on what you want. You can monitor the 4 critical things of the engine running and let other things slide. I mean, stuff doesn't go wrong if you never look at them. So that's like I'll be upgrading mine. I don't know what management I'll run. I kind of thought about going Fuel Tech FT 500 because I think they have about 14 ins and outs. So that's not terrible, and they're around $2,000. No problem. If you have any more questions, you can hit me up on my Instagram at Race Status. I'm glad to help with any knowledge I know, and I will tell you if I do not know. I won't try to guess. Yeah, the Haltech is a great ECU. Yep, all you gotta do is swap the computer. If it's already wired in the car, it's literally plug and play to the Dominator. I said my buddy's got the Dominator in his Mustang. That thing's used that as freaking weight ballast. But yeah, mine's either gonna be Fuel Tech or Haltech, one of the two. I won't use Holley just simply because I just don't like the way they do some things, and I hear their customer service is not the best thing in the world. But that's something I'm not worrying about for God at least another year. That'll be a winter upgrade. I'd love to go FT600. Now that's a badass system that nobody can argue against. But that's also you're probably like $5,000 into that system by the time you get it running on the car. What? Sorry, my dog's trying to play now. I just found all the analytics for this. Pretty cool. Jesus, it's almost 7 o'clock already. How can this older Fox owners what's going on, Matt? Compete with the crazy fast new cars and amazing track. You can't. It's either get on board or get left behind. Um, Colin, have a good one, bud. I'll get more videos out. I'm gonna do one more live video for the giveaway, so it'll be sometime this week. Yeah, no, it's all about good standalones and setting up traction control. It's money, but if you want to go fast, it's nothing cheap. Wheelie control is a huge thing. Oil Mons, nothing. He's not doing anything. I've talked to Capizzi a lot. I became friends with him on Facebook a year or two ago, and he's actually a great guy, and he's given me a lot of knowledge. You know, he'll answer pretty much anyone's questions for the most part. He doesn't do anything really super crazy. You know, a little bit looser bearings, opens up the ring lands. It's a lot of trial and error. He's broke a lot of crap revving to that $8,000. You also gotta think about the alternator. 2,500 to prep his block. I mean, I don't even think it's the block prep that's the issue. I'd pay him $2,500 to tune my car. you know, it's a stock bottom end. There's not too much you can do. Better oil pump, stuff like that. But no, I'm not from Michigan. I'm in Connecticut. I would pay to fly him out here. That's how his car stays together, is tuning. And as he will tell you straight out, up with the boost key, down with the timing key. Have a good one, T-Web. I can't believe it's almost 7 o'clock already. Holy shit. My day off flew by. I've been working on the house, doing sheetrock work. It's not fun. I hate it. Yeah, I mean, if that's something he's selling, I wouldn't give out my information either. You know. Well, what's that saying? If you're good at something, never do it for free. Yeah. What was I gonna say? He obviously he's definitely got it. He's definitely got it figured out. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get like my catch cans. Jason does some secret baffling in there. Yeah, you can figure it out if you cut one open, but never tell anybody how the baffling is. Oh, sorry. Expecting to run my first pass, not this year. It'd be a godsend if I did. I'm just hoping to drive it this year. I'd like to drive it before the snow falls. That's the goal right now. So I'd probably be ready for spring. Plus, I also won't race without a full fire suit. And that's not something I've bought yet because they do expire. And I haven't decided if it's going to be a gas car or an ethanol car. So that also greatly changes the price. I mean, you're looking $2,000 into an ethanol suit. Yeah, you debure all the galleys and passages, massage some areas, open up some other areas. That's all the little tricks, and that's all you really got to do. Open up the oil port, oil drain backs, and all that crap. It's all the little tricks, and then make sure you clean it good. Yeah, a helmet, jacket. So I have a onboard cooling system sitting in the box somewhere. So I'm getting a helmet that pumps fresh air. So that's like, $500 helmet. Pro Fox SFI 15-1 20-layer suit, I think is $1,000. Gloves, shoes, stupid neck collar thing, but I don't want to even waste my money on that and just get a Hans or something of that nature. So, you're looking at $2,500 for a race suit. I might go out there on wastegates, go 950s, get my 9-second license at least. At least I could do that, and I could probably do that on pump gas. Wastegate pump gas, wear a fire jacket and be done. Not crazy too worried. Alright guys, anything else you want to know? I've been on here like an hour and a half. So, like I was saying earlier, I'm glad this worked out. And, well, let me check that email. Glad this worked out so I can do this giveaway for you guys. Get a cool hat. Let me check my email. 3 emails going. I have not gotten your email yet. Dylan, I gotta change it for the front brakes. My front brakes do not clear a 15-inch wheel, and the cheapest scenario was to sell the wheels and get 17s. So if you know anybody that's looking for a set of 15-inch Magnums, 2.0s, let me know. $1,000 shipped to the continental United States. Can you throw your email back up for me? Please there, buddy. I have a Magnum Fuel 4303. It's pretty much the go-to pump for these cars. It's a loud pump. I only have one fuel filter on it, though. I ran a post filter, not a pre. I plan on just filtering the fuel when I add it. It's an Ed Quay wing. It was actually on the car when I bought it, which is nice because it was all paint matched, which I think is just the way to go. So I don't know how much you know about wings. There's actually a great video on Tim McAmus's page, but there's a lot of things to choose. You see my cardboard cutouts for the rear deck. So there's a lot of things to know about the wing when you go to buy one. Anybody can build a wing for a car. Whether it does something or not are two goddamn completely different things. Do you need a car? Do you need a wing at 150, 160, 170 miles an hour? No. Does it help? Yes. So one thing which I'm hoping Jason FCS, he hinted towards Fox body wings. The wicker bill in the back, adjustable. Adjustable wicker bill is key. You move this thing up and down, it puts a different amount of downforce on the car. This is like a half-inch wicker bill. This is more for prep tracks, but I can't change it. It's bent part of the wing. And you also want to get spill plates that are angled to match your car. You don't want the aerodynamics to be messed up when it comes down that spill plate. So I prefer strutted wings. I think strutless wings are hideous. I think they're just incomplete looking. Yeah, I mean, this thing is pretty sturdy. You can see it bouncing the car from it. But this is a high quality wing. I just don't like the fact that there's no adjustable wicker bill. That's something I do want on my next wing. And the other thing I don't really like about this is it's riveted on the trunk. You can see I'd prefer one that is on a hinge on the back edge of the trunk. But what do I know? But the adjustable wicker bill is key. Because you could say you're on a no prep and you run 150 in the eighth, or 160 in the quarter, or whatever you're running. You could put a 1-inch wicker bill on that thing and have some serious downforce on the top end and keep that thing from moving around. 75 Pro Star, 750 Pro Star. From what I know about, I don't know a ton about that pump. I think the only thing I know about it is it's not really I don't think it's a continuous duty pump, so it's not great for street driving. If I remember correctly, I think that's what I got out of that one. Trying to see my email. Oh, maybe it's another folder. No. Oh, let me email you since I didn't get it yet. It'll just be easier. Stang. Or wait at Gmail. No, it's not coming off until I actually have something else in my hand. That's an expensive freaking wing too. I think that thing was like $500 brand new. The one thing I have learned greatly with this car, when I change something, don't take it apart till I have the new parts in hand. That's something I've learned. So I would love to put a full carbon adjustable wicker bill, all that crap on it. But then I'd still want to paint it. So, and this paint is a prick to match. My front bumper doesn't match. It sucks. This is definitely not factory Calypso color. They've definitely tweaked it some. It sucked to get that paint on my front bumper, which isn't even 100%. But it's close enough for me to just drive the car. Yeah, paint matching does suck. It really does. And when I changed the front bumper, because I want a whole fiberglass bumper, and the Valance was just to get me by because it's cheap. I'm actually just gonna bring it to a body shop and let them deal with it. If I had more garage space, I'd get a fiberglass nose for the car and just be done with it because I want a tube front it. But yeah, I'm just gonna bring it to a body shop and let them paint it. I do want to change the fender. This has got some Chang Wang fenders or something they're called on it. All right, thanks, buddy. Let me know. And they just don't fit all that great. I mean, let's be real, Mustang body parts OEM didn't fit all that great, but these don't fit that great. I'd love to change those and put some fiberglass doors on it, but then it gets too race car-y for me. But when I change the bumper, hopefully it'll be a shoe neck bumper. I will have it professionally painted. Yeah, primer's huge. Primer color's definitely huge. It'd be nice if I knew. I don't know. Yeah, that's the smart way to do it. Is just paint it when it's all done. Make sure everything's straight. Tear it down and paint it. Make sure you have everything you want too. Because you add something later, it won't freaking match. So that's why mine will go to a body shop and just let them deal with it. I can paint. I'm just not great at matching it. Yeah, Dan makes some awesome high quality stuff. Um, I've heard nothing but good things. Granted, I think his waiting list is probably huge for a Mustang front bumper. Nothing yet, but that could be because my shitty Wi-Fi down here in the garage. And it's also on the phone. I'll probably check it on my laptop and probably have them. Yeah, I can't picture him wanting to do something like that. Um, especially, I can only imagine how much it costs to make those molds. I'm sure they are not cheap to build. Yeah, factory roll is perfect. That's what I got in mind. When I started looking for the car, I was originally looking for a four-cylinder all-manual car. That's what I got. Manual mirrors, factory cluster. That I don't I don't know if I've seen anybody do that. I'm sure it's been done. Probably not as easy to do. But once I pulled the dashboard out and saw that factory wiring, I was like, no way. Threw it all in the trash. I the only I'm trying to think if there's even a factory harness in my car anymore. Rebuilt the entire taillight harness, rebuilt the entire headlight harness. Pigtails. It's the only thing that's in my car that was factory. No, I lied. The dome light harness is factory. Yes, I have a working dome light too. No, Dan is not cheap, but you pay for quality. Harwood makes a very similar bumper. It's probably a copy. That's nice. It's a little bit cheaper that I've seen a couple people use, but they said they've had to do work to it. And if anybody here was around from my Integra days, knows what I went through with my cheaper fiberglass front end. I probably put 100 hours into my fiberglass front end of my Integra. It sucked. It was a lot of work. So I'll definitely pay $200 more to have one where I don't have to work on just scuff and paint. It makes life easier. Yeah, it's not like you're buying something from Ultra Carbon. Greg at Ultra Carbon makes probably the best body panels on the market. Um, but he doesn't make crap for Fox Body. But his, people have heart attacks when he sees his prices. But he has the best stuff on the market without a doubt. He's tired, guys. It has the factory texture and all. Really, that's pretty wild. I wonder how he did that. I wonder if he just laid a dash into a wet mold. Oh, you saw someone that did it? That's pretty cool. That's a nice sleeper thing right there. Yeah, but usually you gotta sand out molds and everything. Make sure they're perfect. So it's kind of funny. Speedo worked and everything. Jesus. That'd be a great sleeper car right there.
with the full factory interior. I love my race pack. I think the race pack is awesome. Yeah, I don't know shit about mold making, so if you say so, I have no idea. Race pack is compatible with a carb. Oh, you can get a race pack lager dash and have the race pack VNet set up, and then you just put whatever sensors you want in and wire them in through race pack. But that's not going to be cheap. I don't know. Yeah, Haltech sells that new VMT or VMST box or something where you can wire it in. You can do race pack through an entire standalone system of their own. If I'm not mistaken, they have their own sensors, their own wiring, and everything. I know they're not cheap though. I mean, at this point, you're buying a $700 dash. Yeah, someone I'm friends with on Facebook just got the Haltech for his blow through carb setup. I still make fun of him for running a Haltech with a carb, but who's got a 6-inch hood? He had a 6-inch hood on it? Jesus Christ. Hopefully it was one of those bubble hoods. I would love to get a new hood for my car. My car won't even have a hood on it. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't bought your ignition stuff yet, look into what you can get to get the race back to work like a Haltech. With the cringe. I don't know how you carb guys do it, man. God bless you guys. I couldn't. Does make it a lot easier in the engine bay, though. No, I got your address. I got your email now, Jay. Thank you very much, Jay. Yeah, very minimal wiring with that. There's a lot less wiring. A lot less wiring. That was all about wire tucking too. I mean, the Mustang's kind of wire tucked, but never get as wire tucked as a carb. Nitrous big block. Gotta love an LS. Everybody goes to an LS. 26-inch tires. I got 26s on my car right now. Yeah, I can't wait to freaking tear it apart either. It's probably gonna scare the crap out of me, but it's been a lot of years since I've been behind. A lot of years? Been probably about 2.5 years since I've been behind something with a lot of power. The last thing I raced was my father's Challenger. It was a new. He's got like a 2010 with a 426 with a 2300 blower sitting on top of it. Makes like 980. But I'll just go out on wastegates. Make like, I think I put 8-pound springs in the wastegates. I mean, granted that still make good power, but that's what I'll go out on. The Challenger, it wasn't bad. It was a full luxury street car, so it was still a pig. I mean, those cars are heavy to begin with, but um, last time I raced it, I went out on street tires, and I had the mile an hour for about a 1070 pass. So on street tires, I went 100, 130 in the quarter with that car, something like that. I think it was around 130ish. I'd have to dig out the time slips again. I don't remember. It was a couple of years ago now. But street tires on 20-inch wheels, full interior car, nothing taken out. Went 130ish. I would love to put a set of radials on it. Hard tire always happening. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, 26-inch rims. Holy Jesus. Yeah. Them big wheel guys are crazy. I'm waiting for one of them rims to snap in half with how much freaking metal is out there. They're crazy for one of them big ass wheels down the track like that. It's a form of racing I'll never understand, but to each their own. That's the thing. I don't care how you do it as long as you're just out there working on your car, having fun. Unless you show up with that stance crap. Who the hell makes a slick for a 26-inch tire? A rim. No, I gotta look this up. I don't know. I just keep coming up with bicycle stuff. Yeah, big. I don't know. I don't like it, especially when you got to cut the cars to fit them. I'd be scared to run a slick on that big of a rim. A drag radial, I wouldn't be as weary, but a slick, good lord. I just want to know how much air is held in that. That gotta be a ton of air. I'll keep my 15s in the back, 17s in the front, hopefully. I'm actually going to put that back up on my Instagram for sale. I need to get these rims sold. Those rims cannot be cheap either. Caprice. Oh, man. Taking the LS out and putting a small black Ford back in. Donate a dart block to me, and I'll do that. I said earlier I got no problems with a small block Ford. I just not willing to pay the price to make big power with those cars. Like I said, you donate me a dart block, then I'll do it. As long as I don't have to buy a $3,000 block, I'll take the LS out tomorrow. Email me, I'll send you my address. So, I'd actually put a Coyote in my car before I put a regular overhead valve small block Ford in it. Which, that might be the next car, would be a Coyote car, depending on prices. So I'm saying, that block ain't cheap. For a good block for a Ford, like, I forgot who was on here before. He's got 22K into a big block, you know. Zach Lambert. Do you know his Instagram name? Or what do you think that'll come up? Thrill Seeker Motorsports. Oh, I got a Coyote in it. That's fucking sweet. '80s shit box with a Coyote. I fucking love it. See, I'd rock that. That's a pretty cool car there. That damn thing is touching the strut towers. The only thing I don't like about the Coyotes, and, you know, I've already been flamed for this once, and if anybody knows me, I don't care. I think Coyotes are probably the worst sounding engine out there. I think they just sound absolutely horrible. I think they sound like a fucking goddamn Toyota rice burner motor. But throw a turbo on, it's not as bad. Yeah, if you want a good overhead valve Ford block, you're spending $2,500, $3,000 easily for a bare block. And that's the reason why I don't have a small block Ford. Yeah. I just love that it's I would love to find like a Ford, I can't even think of the name of it right now. Like, 80s Fairmont, or I'd even go older and get a Fairlane, stuff like that. Give me like a two-door Fairmont. I'd love to have a two-door Fairmont. 10K in your 557. Durango. Camera motor. Jesus. $10K with used parts. God, I wish I knew what it was like to be rich. Durango. You like some weird shit, Jason. God, that thing is so ugly. Um, I was trying to go to Mustang Week this year with the car. I can't enter it in anything because all the butthurt purists out there won't have it. But Mustang Week is something that's definitely in the cards. Um, Honestly, if I wanted to, I could have gotten the whole car together and assembled and gone to Mustang Week. But my goal is to not do what everybody else does and load their car on a trailer and bring it there. My goal is to drive it there. I think it's about 800 miles for me. So that's something I definitely want to do one of these years. I'd like to do it next year. We'll see. There's also that big Fox Body show in Tennessee I'd like to go to. Fox in the Smokies or Mustangs in the Smokies or whatever it is. You drive from Chicago, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to see when people aren't on a trailer. It's definitely cooler when you drive it. That's why I built my car. I want to drive it all the way down there. I just got to see if I can fit my golf clubs in the back seat. Oh, the Grey Goose. I love following his YouTube. He builds some cool stuff. I've learned a lot from him. Has he raced that thing? I haven't had time to watch any YouTube channels in a while. Has he made a pass in that thing yet? God, what's his name? I don't remember his name right now. Old T-Birds are cool. 89 hatch with a 3.3 with a T56. That's got to be a fun ride, man. My next car will definitely be a clutch car. Yeah, that Bibster, I don't know. I was all about that Bibster until the wheels. It's an amazing amount of fab work he put into that. That car's, I mean, hands down, that thing is awesome. I just absolutely hate Kyle Voss. Yeah, I just absolutely hate the wheels. I actually have some Kill Fab clothing that I bought from his page, and I bought a grinder rack that I go back and forth between wanting all my tools in the toolbox or all my tools out. So I haven't put that up. Full interior and AC. AC is jealous. Mustang Week is in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks away. It's soon. It's very soon. It's a full week. It's a really cool event that I've watched for a couple of years now. That's where they get all those Mustang slide videos from, where people hitting crowds. Pigeon Forge. Yeah, I couldn't remember. There's a lot of Mustangs there last year. I'd love to. I just want to go to a lot of car shows. I want to race. I want to do burnouts. I want to go to a lot of car shows. I want to eat. I want to eat a lot of ice cream. I'm with you on the drag week thing. I will not drive halfway across the country to do it. I know they're in Atlanta this year. Crowd control. Mustang Fox. Jay, you are the man, bro. I can't thank you enough. I truly thank you for that. And when I get some stuff um, made up, I'm going to send you something. You're the man. Thank you. But Christopher, I'd love to do Drag Week. I know it's in Atlanta this year. I'm not doing Atlanta in 100-degree weather with no AC. I'd love to do Drag Week. I think it's an awesome event, and it really shows what you're made of and how well you built your car and what you can do. I've talked to a couple people who have done it,
And they say it's grueling. But like I said, I won't drive to Iowa or wherever it is normally. I can't even remember. If they did like a New England swing, oh, I'd be all in for that. And they should do a New England swing. We got the best tracks in the country. White boys move fast. Hell yeah. Jay's all over that thing. Yeah, I would love to go there with my car and enter it in the shows, but it's not allowed. I definitely want to go, though. What am I Googling here? Fox Body T-Bird. Is this another ugly car? Oh, it's not a bad looking car. I like this blue one, though. That one's pretty wild. That's at 87. 81? Oh, God, that thing's hideous. Enough. Talk about 80s shit boxes. I take an 85. What are they? Turbo coupes or super coupes or whatever they are? 90s, whatever. Like a Fairmont. Fairmont. Oh, I like a two-door Fairmont. I don't know. I just feel like the prices of those Fairmonts have gone up ever since Sloppy Mechanics. Gotta find Grandma. Ooh. Alright, come on. Oh. Oh. This dog. Oh, now you did it. Why don't you get a hold of a tennis ball? Yeah. Fox body. A Mustang too. Come on now. No. No Mustang 2s for me. Not a chance. When they stop, yeah. Fox body prices are through the roof. I won't complain about it though. Get your ball. My damn dog dropped the ball in the jack stands. A Mustang too. No, we'll see what the next one's gonna be. It's gonna be what I can find cheap. That might be a budget build with a Coyote. This goddamn dog. Get your own ball. What's wrong with you? Yeah. I should have just put my car back to stock. The amount of miles that are on it, I could have made a fortune probably. But nobody said we make great life decisions. I would love to do like a two-door Fairmont with a Coyote, if that's even possible. I don't even know if it fits. The motor's freaking like 4.5 feet wide. I love those old Falcons. The old Falcons, I got a special place in my heart for old Falcons. A lot of the old Fords. I would love to find. I don't even know if I still have the picture in it. Enough with your Windsor. My car, 850s. That's all I want to do. 850s and drive it. Drive it home from the track. I don't even know if I still have the picture of this thing. see if I can Google it now. Thanks, Christopher. It should be fun. God, it's the old Galaxy, but with like the bubble glass window on it. I can't remember the name of it. 4L80 Cruise AC 1200 horsepower. That sounds like a damn good time. What the hell is that Galaxy? I'll show you guys a picture. See if you can. This. I hope this thing. Come on. This thing is awesome. Did I buy a sticker book? Every single one of those stickers you see, I have bought a part for. Except for a couple companies. Like Street to Track right here, big supporters of me. I own a bunch of their apparel. Four Bangers Production, my buddy Kev, big Honda guy right there. I support him to the fullest. Speed Factory Racing, Honda. I've gotten even to going down the side now. So, Lock It Up TV, another supporter. I don't just get stickers go there that I get. I'm not a huge sticker. Damn, that's a pretty wild car. It's got some sweet flares on the back of it. All the patina. That's awesome. One thing I'd like to have is just an old, like, 67 C10. That'd be freaking awesome. That's what I want. That thing's pretty cool. White wheels and everything. I'd love to have just a cruiser like that. As corny as it sounds, I'd put it on freaking bags and just drive it. So, my mayor of our city here in Connecticut drives a New Edge Mustang, and he put up a picture. He ran for governor, and he didn't win the primaries, but he put up a picture of cleaning his Mustang right after the primary. So he's got a New Edge. So I put a picture of my car on there, and he just responded. I said, we cruising or nah? He goes, I'll leave you in the dust. Now that's a mare I can get behind. That's funny. He just responded to that. Christopher, I'm glad it's a god damn it, get your ball, goddamn dog. It's a good setup. It's a damn good setup. You won't go wrong with it. I try to do as many part reviews as I can. I know there's a lot of info out there and everything, so I like to make it quick and easy on my first impression with it. Ow. Bastard. So, that's going to work out like that. That's pretty funny that my mare did that. I like that. Comical. I would crack that ass. Think I'd get my mare to street race? Now that would be cool. You think that'd get me a lot of views? Why do I hear a stereo? Jay, you're a killer, man. Jay, you're an absolute beast, man. I love it. Thank you so much. That's a huge help. Is that a new pedal? It looks new. Everybody, Jay hooked me up with a pedal. John, this is very good questions. We are going to do another live feed this week. This one went long. God, 2 hours, 20 minutes. We're going to do another live feed this week. And I'm going to pick a winner this week. So it'll probably be Wednesday night. I'll do another live feed and we'll do this. So you can ask questions again. I got no problem answering them again. We'll see. Jay, thank you very much, man. I greatly appreciate it. All right, fellas, let me wrap this up. I just realized it's 7:40 already. I'm glad this was working. Sterling Maxima, I'm sorry you just got here, bud. I'm going to be wrapping this live feed up. Been here for 2 hours 20 already. Let's plan about 8 o'clock Wednesday night. Yeah, let's plan for Wednesday night, 8 o'clock ish. We'll get back up here on the live feed and we'll do it again. We'll talk about everything. The next build, come back Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. We'll talk about it, Foxrod. So, Christopher, Wednesday. We will do the drawing for the Wednesday. Thanks, Jay. Like I said, I greatly appreciate it. John, here's my email. Hope you got it. Or you could hit me up on my Instagram at race status. So, guys, have a great night. Get out, wrench on that car. Like always, I always say, get out and wrench on that car. Only way it'll get done. All right. You guys have a good night.